Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome to Conflict of Nations. I want to go ahead and give a massive thank you to the developers for sponsoring this video. Stuff like this helps the channel keep on going, and I actually have a ton of fun playing these games as well. So this is also a great opportunity for me to play with you guys, as they've gone ahead and given us our very own 64 player game which goes ahead and takes over the entire world. So right now I'm playing on a smaller game which is just basically Europe and a bit of America and a little bit of Africa and a little bit of the Middle East, kind of a little bit of everything besides, you know, far east. But in our proper game, which again you'll be able to find the link to down below in the description, and I will be going through on how to join at the end of the video, you'll be able to pick as, you know, all the big boys, and every nation in this game is historically sized as well. So unlike Call to War, where the factions are kind of split up, like China is like 6 or 7 different factions to kind of make it a bit more balanced, in this game every faction is as big as they are historically, which I think makes a really interesting twist. And obviously the game is set in modern day, so you're going to have access to nuclear weapons. So let's run through a bit of that now, and obviously if you guys like the look of the game, you want to play alongside me, try and kill me, try and join up with me, then you can do so by using my link in the description, signing up and joining the game. That again, I will let you guys know how to join in the description and at the end of the video. So yeah, in this game I started off playing as Greece, which we obviously don't have all this territory we've taken. Managed to kill Albania, we managed to push into Hungary, and we're about to go into Serbia as well, which is going to be pretty good to get Belgrade because it's a pretty rich resource. So we'll go through the top bar and we'll kind of see what we have here, so you guys get a good idea about the game. Because again, you know, it is, for those of you who have played Call to War, there's similarities with that game, but there are a ton of really awesome differences as well. I mean, one of them, it's set in the modern day, which allows you to do so much more. So I love both games, and I'm having a ton of fun playing this one as well. So you obviously have the newspaper where people can post articles, and you can kind of see a bit about everyone, you know, who's kind of got the most victory points, who's got the most stats and stuff, and kind of go through that. So people can post cool articles and roleplay and stuff, which is what I like. You also have the research tree. So the research tree is very vast. You have a whole range of different infantry, tanks you can get, artillery, radar, which is really cool in this game, and I've got some recon vehicles out right now, which will give you intel on enemy positions. You can move them into enemy territory, but they won't conquer the territory, but they will be able to scout ahead and see what's around, and you will be able to see that in a second. You have helicopters, jet fighters, you have heavy bombers, which obviously can drop nukes and stuff. You have obviously ships and submarines, you have nuclear weapons, you have chemical weapons, and you have a whole range of different kind of range ones and upgrades to them to make them a little bit stronger, do more damage. You have officers, which are used to upgrade and improve the quality of your men. So for example, I should probably get an infantry officer research, and he will go ahead and provide me some pretty good bonuses to my infantry when they're fighting, and yeah, give me some extra stats there, which will be very nice. And then finally you also have seasonal, which I believe is a special thing that you can pick up as well. You also have diplomacy, kind of very similar, where you have alliances, you can make peace with people, you can give them right away and share intelligence, which is really cool. Resources, you have a whole range of different stuff, supplies and components, fuel, electronics, rare materials, manpower and cash. Cash is mainly used to go ahead and buy and sell resources on the global market. So all the resources you're seeing on here right now are all put up by real players, and they'll set their own prices, and it'll be a real fluctuation. I remember in a lot of our previous Call to War games, rare materials went through the roof in the early game because everyone was trying to research, and then as people got that research, it really did dive back down. So there was a true market game going on right then. It was really awesome to kind of play the economy, get a ton of money. I know I did. I played the economy, bought loads of rare materials in the early game when people sold them for cheap, and then kind of as people hiked the price, I followed them and made a ton of cash to be able to buy other resources to do other stuff, because resources are used to do a whole range of different stuff. Construction is pretty important, and you're going to want to go ahead and get this done pretty early on. You want to upgrade your building so you can get access to cool units. You can see right here, I'm currently building some mechanized infantry to throw up to the front, going full mechanized. I kind of skip basic infantry, which is, you know, probably a bit scary as a smaller nation like Greece, where I don't have access to as many resources as, say, like Italy or France. You can see France has the whole of Germany in this game. And obviously these are all actual players as well. You know, it was kind of a bit risky. I could have kind of been taken out if Italy decided to invade me or something, because I was focusing on more of the later game units rather than getting some early safe units to protect me. But we went ahead and did that, and hopefully it paid off. We also had to upgrade a lot of our buildings. I should probably upgrade... Oh, we don't have any components. That's a shame. I'd love to upgrade to a level 2 army base there, so I could start building my elite units up there. We've got battle tanks and other stuff on the build. And as I said, there's obviously everything you saw in the research tree, which you can go ahead and recruit. Lots of different strike fighters and bombers as well. And the cool thing as well is you can get like UAVs, which I guess are really important. So recon is a very important thing in this game. You have recon vehicles, UAVs, and I think there's radio towers as well you can build. These guys can see into enemy territory. For example, I can move this tank through enemy territory because it's a recon tank and there's no actual infantry or tanks attached to it. It won't conquer the territory, but it will scout ahead. So for example, because this recon vehicle is here, I can see everything the enemy has in my select area. I also have a recon tank here and here, so I've kind of overcommitted to this area. But I can go ahead and see what the enemy have, which is really cool. And right there, I don't know if I mentioned it as well, the game does play in real time, so it takes, time to move your army around. So for example, if I want to move into, like, say, this region here to capture it, it's going to take me about an hour to move from here, mainly because it's a mountainous area, and that severely hampers how fast your units are. But yeah, so units do move in real time, so you can kind of go to bed one night, set up your defense, get ready to attack in the morning, and do really cool stuff like that. For example, right now, I'm currently, I think, engaged in combat right here with the enemy vehicles. There's just a recon battalion here, so my tank should rip through it at 8 minutes until we're fully engaged. I've also got infantry moving up here as well. So yeah, you'll see we'll be in combat very soon. Also got my fighters patrolling around this area, stopping any air superiority from coming in, because I don't have any anti-air, so they'd rip through me. I also have a tank battalion that is currently engaged as well right here with the enemy unit. We're doing a pretty good job right now. Our tank should rip through them, and we're out in the open as well, so that should be a very good advantage. Obviously, terrain plays a huge factor to how effective a certain unit is. For example, you can see right here that, we in the mountains, we take a 50% attack penalty and a 25% defense penalty, but obviously in the open plains we'll get get a 50% boost and stuff. So that's obviously, you want to kind of maneuver your tanks and stuff pretty smart and kind of have a home advantage in a sense. Buildings are really cool in the game as well. I know I mentioned the basic ones, that you can also construct buildings in random bits of terrain, which is very different to, say, Call to War, where you can't do that. So for example, I can build buildings out here, and it's a different selection of different types of buildings. So for example, this place has got an electronic resource, so I'm utilizing that by building local industry here. It will give me more of that resource over time. You can also go ahead and build some really cool military logistics, which goes ahead and massively speeds up the speed of your units. So it's kind of like a road network solely divided for your military. You obviously want these to be coming from all of your local infrastructure. So I think right here as well, if I have the resources, no, I do just about, it's components, well, I do desperately need components, and there's not really any on the market. I think everyone's just spamming tanks, and I don't really have access to much. I guess over here I have access to a little, but I don't think I can afford to upgrade my industry. No, again, we need components. I should really probably upgrade my industry so we get more resources. That's definitely something we should definitely try and do, because yeah, components are pretty scarce, at least down here in the south. We also have this as well, which I definitely should probably upgrade as well. So I always need to upgrade my buildings, basically. Yeah, and over here as well, you can see that it's going to take me 3 hours to get into the city. I probably don't want to go into the city because I do have some tanks here. But you can see the difference, right? Over here, I can see basically everything that the Bulgarians have. And then over here, we have basically no intel on the Serbians, because I don't have my recon vehicles further north. I do have one recon vehicle here, but they're being engaged, so they're going to have to move up and scout the enemy a little bit more. And I actually have no recon vehicles over on this left-hand side, so that's going to really be hindering me. The rest of the stuff, obviously diplomacy, coalitions, same, you can join up into clans and win the game that way. There's also intel as well, so you can put spies around the world. They're really useful at discovering enemy troop movements, destroying infrastructure, and also going ahead and finding out intel on your opponents. There's a really cool thing that can fire if your if your spies are successful, which basically allows you to see the transmissions of private messages between nations that you're spying on. So you can find out if someone's wanting to betray you. you. And it's really, really cool to be able to do something like that and be like, oh damn, we're going to be betrayed? Okay, cool. Let's play it cool, pretend we don't know, but our spies have been successful. That's saved me a handful of times in the call to war. So yeah, I mean, that's basically the game. You obviously have access to like warheads, nuclear weapons and stuff, and different payloads of ways of delivering them, which is really exciting. So let's jump in. I'll show you guys what faction I'm going to be playing in our 64 World Conquest campaign, and you guys can go ahead and find out how to join. So I'll see you guys there. Okay, so this is a page you guys should see when you go ahead and sign up using my link down below in the description. All you have to do is go to games, you have to go to find a new game, put in this bar the correct number, which again will be linked in the description, so it's just 3421291, but you can just copy and paste it. That'll go ahead and bring you to our new game right here. You can go ahead and join it. You need to enter the password, which again I will leave down below in the description, but it is just Jackie Fish and then a handful of numbers, Jackie Fish 0920 if you want to be super click about it, and then it'll go ahead and boost you into a game, and then from here you'll have to pick the nation you're playing. Some of the big ones will probably be taken fairly early on, but there are 64 to play from, so there are plenty, and I think I'm pretty confident in the faction I'm going to be playing. In this game I am going to be playing, if I can find them. Did I go past them? Because this isn't in alphabetical, right? Wait, did I go past them? Oh, it is in alphabetical, yeah. I'm playing as Canada. I think Canada will be a lot of fun. We get access to the European research doctrine, so we're good at anti-tanks, we're good at mechanized infantry and strike fighters. That's kind of the specialty of these guys. If you go to someone like China, they'll have the Eastern doctrine, which is better at tanks, mobile artillery, which is pretty scary. So yeah, we're going to play as Canada. Canada isn't exactly the scariest faction in the world. Obviously, we're bordered with the United States, so we're going to have to probably do some diplomacy, whether or not I kill them early on or just try and, you know, ally up with them early on will be very, very interesting. Maybe I can negotiate with Mexico or something to kind of do a coup. But yeah, all you have to do is you have to click Canada, click OK. That'll go ahead and bring you into the game. Obviously, the game's not going to start yet because it has to wait until, I believe, 5 people have joined at least, and then the game starts. But yeah, you can take a look at it, and this is the global map. You've got some really powerful factions sitting around. I'm going to be very excited to see what like China and Russia do. I mean, Russia looks extremely scary, I'm not going to lie. They're going to be breathing down my neck almost immediately. But yeah, there's going to be some good stuff for us to do. It's going to be very fun. Canada, I think, will be a very interesting faction because obviously they've got a lot of land, and I'm going to have to definitely build some good infrastructure around here to move in and yeah, improve what they have. Obviously, Quebec is probably going to fall almost immediately from my forces. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys there. As I said, make sure you use the link in the description. Once again, massive thank you to the developers for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.